retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it.
This video is brought to you by the 9% and is powered by Petty Vision Productions. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
I can't wake nobody up. I'm here to unplug.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste till my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. God loves.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title, we gonna talk about it. But first, let me get into the chat. Anti, what up, 9? What up, sis? Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown, my 33 brother. What up, though? Appreciate you. Liz B in the building. Shout out to the Raptors. Hey, we're gonna talk about parenthood tonight, and I figured, who else better besides my parents to help me rock out with this? So I'm gonna bring my mom and my pops up on the stage. Prayers, what up, though? Appreciate you. Pops and moms, what up, though?
What's going on?
Hey, everybody.
And let me just give a quick disclaimer. They gonna take over the show, so I'm barely gonna talk. So I'm just putting that out there now. But yeah. I wanted to talk about this because nowadays there's so much parental advice. People say do this, do that, and also is things like parent shaming, right? And if just the reality of the situation, all kids are different, just like all adults are different. So what worked for some might not work for others. So like all that shaming and bashing, especially like with the single mother, single moms, they got it hard. But guess what? Some of them raise outstanding kids, and there's some kids raised in 2-parent households that become a piece of crap. So it still is on an individual basis. But with this parenting thing, there are no instructions included when you get the child. So it's kind of learned by trial and error. But I just want to get my parents' perspective too, because they had me at a young age. And the times are different too. I was raised more in their era. So my perspective. Tay Eats in the building. What up, sis? What up, 9 Young Riaz? What up, brother? Appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna give y'all the floor. But also too, I did Tay and Anti. If y'all wanted to pop up, feel free. But it's not an open panel. I'm not letting everybody up. Just Tay and Anti. But yeah, sis, if y'all want to pop up, feel free. But mom, dad, y'all want to take over?
He can start.
How I got to start? You the biggest talker. You have us on here till 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, let's say hey, everybody. It's been a long time since I've been here. I had to join my baby and give a little shout out to everybody and do a little stream with them. I guess to start out, I can say as a parent, um, having our son at an early age, we were blessed. I look at my grandchildren now and how much I can help out my children, watching them while they work or do other activities. We were blessed because our parents didn't have to work. So, we were still in school, getting ready to go to college and all of that. And we didn't have to worry about who was watching him, putting him in daycare or anything like that. So I want to say we had a lot of help with our parents, um, having him so young and being able to still attend school, go to college, get our degrees, and all of that. So shout out to the mamas, little sis, and granny for helping us out with that bit. Also, um, looking at how he was raised. He was speaking on how children, not even just kids, but teenagers, young adults, and respect for their elders. You don't see people or younger adults, children respecting their parents and elders like we did. We were raised in that. We were raised, and you did not have the option to respect or not to respect. You had to respect, or there were serious, as my husband would say, complications and repercussions behind that. So, with us having our son at such a young age, he was raised that way. He was raised in the same atmosphere as growing up and respecting your elders as we were. So we never had that problem with him. Even now, you can still see it. And even though, he's much older, he's a grown man with his own children. I'll give you an example. We had worked in the same hospital for a period of time. And a lot of people didn't know him when he first started, but they knew me as the administrative manager. And I ran into one of his coworkers one day, and we had just started talking, and she was talking about this young man that has started working there, and she had never seen someone so respectful, and she's going on, and I'm just standing there with a smile because I know even though there are others out there, I just had it inside me that she was talking about my son. So I asked her, I said, "What is this young man's name?" And she told me, I said, wow. And I got the biggest smile on my face. I was the proudest mom ever in the world at that moment. And I said, that's my son. And she said, get out of here. She's like, really? She's like, well, I can see it because of how you carry yourself as a professional. And I can see in him how you were raised and how you raised him. And that to me was one of the biggest compliments that you could receive. Someone you really don't know talking about this person and them not knowing that, this was your child. It was just awesome. I mean, it that just like made my life. Like I know even though my son is not in my presence, that he's out there still showing the morals, the values, the respect for his elders that he was raised to be like, that person he was raised to be like. So I just wanted to start off with that. I'll let Dad talk now.
Hey, I want to interrupt for 1 second because I was talking to Sis earlier. I was talking to Tay, and I was telling her that, like in life, like I noticed on here, you know how people go out and do things to seek validation and acceptance. And I told her I never had to do that because my parents always showed me appreciation, always let me know that I was special. If I did wrong or right, they always gave me that love. So I never was one of them people to go out and do things. I didn't have the mommy or the daddy complex. I didn't have the abandonment issues. I didn't have um, the lack of love. I mean, even when I felt that, It wasn't because it wasn't there. It was because I couldn't. I was emotionally going through something and didn't see it. I was looking at sometimes for other places when it was right there the whole time. So, like attention, like y'all know me my whole life. If I ever did anything to try to seek attention, I always stayed incognito. Even this ain't even you know my stilo. Trying to be on the front page, everything. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So I think that's important too, and I appreciate y'all so much for that. Because I know I had friends who parents didn't do that, and I know everyone ain't blessed like I am to have parents, lift them up, whether good or bad. Um, I know how fortunate I am, so I know how important it is for me to do that for my kids too. So I want to thank y'all for that too. My bad. What up, Prez? My boy Prez in the building.
My perspective is being that we were so young, there was no type of blueprint for us. No, I take that back. It was no manual for us handed to us. Our blueprint came from our mothers and our siblings because of the agape genuine love that was given. I think today, what you just said is a lot of the kids, in my opinion, is validating themselves outside of the home. They want to be something other than or be like someone else instead of growing because we're all taught right from wrong from the beginning. Told not to touch that stove. It's hot. What do? We try it anyway. And I can personally say I don't want to be my child's friend, my adult child. Yeah, but I mean I think today everyone wants to be liked, and like me and your mom, sometimes someone got to be the bad parent that the child don't agree with their decisions at the time, and then someone's the softy. So we didn't understand and we didn't know, but our mother showed us, and like she just said, we had nothing stopped. We were able to continue to mature and grow and still show love and try to instill the best we could. And I just think today a lot of parents just want to be friends or want to be liked or be that cool parent when it, you can't I can't tell you not to do something if I'm going to continue to do it. My famous saying was do as I say, don't ever do as I do. And I was adamant about it because allow me to make mistakes that I can come back and tell you that you shouldn't do. And it's hard because we didn't know. But as time matured, I mean, we grew up and matured and had a mutual or a greater understanding. And it was okay. Well, this is how this is how we were raised, and this is how it should be raised. You said it yourself. Times have changed. Yes, times have changed drastically. But one thing that doesn't change is separating a parent from a child. And I think going forward today, everyone is almost on an equal level. Who's the parent? Because you don't want your child to be wrong. I didn't have a choice. If I when I went to school, my job was to go to school. Not that if the school called home, when I got home, I was in trouble automatically. There was no question of what I did or why I did it, I should say. It was you're wrong because there were adults there doing the job. Your job is to go there and and learn, not be there being the class clown. And we all, as kids, we all do things. Like I said, as a child, it's trial and error. You do things out away from the ones you respect the most that you would never do in front of them. So, but I mean, it's a right way, a wrong way, and then there's a no way. And some parents, in my opinion, today is in a no way situation because they believe their child is not ever doing anything wrong, and they're always defending the child to another adult. That's why I think even going to school, teachers are afraid of the kids, and then on top of that, they're afraid of the parents coming after them at the school.
Yeah, that's true. That's how it was in our day. Back then, when we went to school, they had the paddles, and you did something wrong, you got paddled. And if you got paddled in school, you was getting it again when you got home because of what you did. But I do have to say, on that extent, my mother would ask me what happened. She'd get my point of view. She wouldn't just take, that teacher's point of view. And there were times that, even though she embarrassed me coming up to the school because everybody knew Miss Lilson. She come up there and whatever she was dressed in, if it was an emergency, house coat, hair rollers, whatever, and she wanted to talk to somebody. So everybody and my nieces and nephews grew up with me, and everybody, okay, who Miss Lewis is coming up here for? Is it her daughter, one of her grandchildren? So yeah, everybody knew her. So when she showed up, they knew there was fire and smoke coming behind her. I just wanted to touch on Tay. She had a question.
Yeah,
Do we think mothers are teaching the young women and are the dads teaching the boys? I think, from my perspective, I think it's a combination of both. Because nowadays, a lot of times, even back then when I was growing up, you have one parent families. I can say back in my day, and it's still, visible now, where there's one parent families, even if, just say, the dad wasn't present and there was a young boy that you wanted to mature and to develop, help him develop into a respectable young man, a lot of times, depending on how the mother was raised, she was able to do that. Or there was an uncle or maybe an older brother or someone that was able to help her out along the way. uh and also, I mean, and this is just my perspective. I think with young females, girls, teenagers, whatever the age, with just a father as a parent, sometimes it's a little difficult, especially when they're going through menopause. Lord Jesus, when they're going through puberty. A lot of men don't like to touch on the menstruation and, like, oh my God, I don't know what to tell her to do. I can go to the store and buy supplies, but that's it. But but then you have men that will do that. They, may have had younger sisters and they experienced the hormone shifts, the you know, supplies in the bathroom. So they may be able to say, okay, I know you've reached this point in your life where, you know, these products are coming in handy. They may not be able to show them, but, they can tell them and, just pray that there's another female, excuse me, involved in that young woman's life that can assist her, with the things that he can. So I think it goes both ways, and depending on the mother or father, single parent, who's doing the raising, that can play a factor into it also.
I agree. I to elaborate a little bit, I believe wholeheartedly a man teaches a boy how to strive to be a man. A woman teaches a girl how to be a woman. crossing crossing over in the same sense. You're showing love. You're showing someone how to be how the opposite sex should be treated, not demeaned, not badgered, because we can only take you to a certain level as little girl, like you said, starting menstrual and puberty. I mean, the man almost has to back away. That's why I'm from a big family, so I got five sisters and only two brothers. So, so it's the village that still raises a child, and I think in society we've lost that because we can't talk to another kid outside of quote unquote family, and some you can't even talk to some of your family members and correct behavior. I'm not saying that. I'll give you an example. Like you were talking about school, I'm talking about school. I would rather take the paddle, just don't call home. Don't call my
Right.
mama because I know the punishment. I'll get over the swats or whatever we got in school. I get over that quick. I ain't getting over that with the repercussions of home because I agree that you want to listen to what happened, but I also my mother was more to the point was look, that's an adult. If something's going on that is not correct, I'm the adult. You tell me, I'll handle that. I promise you, I'll handle it. And I have 100% faith in her. I mean, just all the back talk and the total disrespect of the adults that adults get from the I don't want to. Well, I can't even just say from the kids. It's from the. I mean, from just the teenagers. There's young kids that's doing it.
Well, I just want to add in there, I never got paddled in school. I was a good girl.
I
Well,
got
you
paddled
get
in school.
older.
But I wanna before we go to the next question, I wanna tap in on two things real quick. Um, one thing is like I said, this the time and era has changed. Like in this era, to be honest, like growing up, um, and I'm not saying like because I'm from the old school. I respect all elders, even if they not giving me a reason to. But it is weird because I didn't. I don't know if it was the environment I was in. Like the elders of today ain't the elders of yesterday. I'm sorry. The mass majority. I'm gonna say that the mass majority, or the examples that we get, because some of these older people acting like they're young people.
Right.
But that's still not gonna change who I am and what I do. But I do have to point that out too because a lot of that disrespect that I see, because I didn't understand it at first. Really, I'm gonna be honest with you. Until I got on YouTube, I didn't understand it because um, I see it done on respectable people, like respectable elders. I see it, but then when you come on here, you see older people acting a donkey. Like I don't see that in my real life, but I see it on here. So it's like we can say that with confidence, right? Because of I guess our environment and where we put ourselves in. But like having that said on here, um, I have to also add that too. But again, it's the environment is what the reality that we all create and who we share that reality with. Because like a lot of the stuff I see on here, we don't experience that. It's like wow. Like ma, look, I was literally saying like a lot of these you know how you read a psychology book and you go through all these different um, disorders or mental behaviors. You may not experience them in real life. Every once in a while, when we get a straight um, bipolar or schizophrenic come through the hospital, you like, okay, yeah, they're in the padded room. You get a couple of them a week, but they don't hear it running wild. You like, hold on. But I wanted to touch on that. And the main 755, what up though, sis? Appreciate you. Um, and another thing I want to hit on is I think personally, um, both, to take question. I think a child needs to be influenced from men and women. A man has to teach a boy how to be a man, but a woman has to show a boy how to treat a woman or how to
Yes,
interact,
indeed.
with a woman, and vice versa. And also, what you said too, that village aspect, having multiple men around to teach a boy how to develop into a man, I think that was crucial. And having multiple women around to show him the different personalities or aspects of women. So that village is important. I think in the development of a child, giving that child not just one way, but multiple ways, I think that'll help the child find their way. That was key for me. So I just wanted to add that. And then Gary had a question. Do we think the double income aspect has an effect on our children and relationships between parent and child? Me personally, I'm gonna go real quick. I don't understand the income, like just having like two parents working. Do you think have like are you saying like two working parents? I'm trying to get the meat and potatoes of the question. Like what aspect of the income are we talking about? Like because the dynamics, I mean, there's so many different um conditions or scenarios having a double income can have. What if both of the parents out the home ain't really get time to spend time with the kids? Is that what you talk about, like developing relationship, not having one parent home all the time and the other one out working, like back in the day? Um, I think that's what he's getting at. Okay, yeah. Um, I mean, to be honest, I don't. It'll be different, right? Different circumstances. It depends on the situation and the conditions because I can see instances where it can work. One parent, maybe they both work the same shift, so they both got time for the kids. Maybe they work uh, a day shift and they off all afternoon with the kids, so it's all family time. Both of them work that. They alternate weekends. That can work. But if they just rotate and they don't have time for one another or have time for the kids, that can be an issue too. So, I mean, I think it's the conditions and situations. I mean, if that makes sense.
Can I just comment on that real quick?
Yes.
Um, a lot of times, depending on uh, the parents' jobs when they're working time shifts and all of that, because if you can remember, son, when you were younger, well, I could say you and your siblings were younger, um, I didn't miss a beat. Your dad didn't miss a beat. I mean, even though I work nights because I'm a night owl, always been, always will be, it was more convenient for me that, I was working at night, but I knew someone was home with the children. Um, and even though like sporting activities, school activities, I would get off of work. And if there was a play or anything going on at the school, I was able to attend it without having to get my shift covered or something like that. And like when the word was playing sports, I would come home, cook dinner, take a little nap, and I would get up before I went to work and attend his sporting event. So like I said, being uh, the parents that we were, I think, we were blessed in a lot of ways as far as working and still being able to spend appropriate time with our children. I don't feel that anything was taken away from them in a time aspect on my part because of me working at night. I didn't do the bedtime routine, putting them to bed and all of that. But, they were a little older now, being younger. Um, I don't think they missed out on much because I didn't work every day of the week. I only had to work 3 shifts a week, so I was home for those nights per week. So I don't think they were affected. That, oh, mommy ain't here to put me to bed, or they understood. Mommy had to work, daddy had to work. But someone was there with them all the time. If something came up and both of us had to be gone at some point, there were the grandparents.
Because my perspective on that is time has changed so much. It takes two incomes. It takes two people, two of the parents, both parents to work. I could say. Back in the day, yeah, uh, good job. The high paying job. My mom worked, but then she was the homemaker. I think in today's the way it's configured today, like like you were just saying, um, no beats or miss because you make do or you make time to do what you must do. I can say for myself, I think sometimes maybe I should get more sleep or but I'm an early riser. My wife sleeps. Because of her uh, prolonged history of night term, so she sleeps. So I'm up. Shit, they tell me I might wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. That's just me. And the
Yeah,
word knows I'll whatever needs to be done. I might be tired, but I got a chance. I'm gonna do it. That's so we make time to do the things we want to do outside of family. If you're a person that want to go to the casino, if you're a person that want to go hang out with drinking or whatever else, you make time to do those things. So when it comes to kids, you got to either eliminate the things that you like to do for the betterment of being the parent for your children. Just like you, the word you sacrifice so much to do for your own kids now. It's just a routine that you do, and we all get overwhelmed in life, but in order to do the best for our kids, that's what happens because no child asked to be here, so we must become better in society today with the being there for them. We've already established in life what we do, and in my opinion, going forward, we got to eliminate our own self to become more selfless, not selfish, selfless to help. Am I talking too much?
No, no,
Oh,
not at all. I was reading in the chats in the comments that that people were saying, I think
my bad. Was
young
y'all looking for me? I was trying to get this place to people.
no, y'all.
okay. Tay
Wait. Before you start, I need you to. One of y'all gonna teach me how. I want to read the chats too.
Y'all know how to read the chat.
I ain't got them pulled up on my phone.
at the bottom, click on chat
Or
Okay.
or click on the thing that says more. It means there's new messages.
I don't know. He probably got the iPhone too. So
I got the 16 RH plus. Y'all ain't even
Oh,
got it yet.
jeez. But what I was going to say, there was, I think, Tay touched on it, and Riaz, I think it was. Anywho, um, yeah, growing up, we were taught, if you were sitting and an elder came in, you gave your seat to them. And I also still do that to this day. If we're in an event or, any kind of outing or whatever, and I'm sitting and, someone older comes in, or even someone, with a cane, walker, whatever have you, someone that would be better off sitting than I would get up and relinquish my seat to them. And
That,
also
that's an
on
apologetic.
touching on the subjects where um, being in a room when adults were speaking, it was absolutely not, especially when they were talking quote unquote grown up talk. We were not allowed to be in a room. Now, if it was at like dinner table and it was a conversation or something came up that they felt comfortable discussing with us, yes, we could sit there, but we weren't allowed to comment or, say anything, throw in our thoughts or 2 cents or whatever. We had to remain silent and just listen. And believe it or not, if you took anything back from that conversation, they knew about it and you were in trouble. You were not allowed to repeat it, comment on it, or say anything about it. What happened at the table stayed at the table. Go ahead.
Well, again, when they were have any grown ups or sitting around chatting, we weren't allowed. We weren't, like you said, not allowed to comment, but not even be in the room. Y'all going to play. Y'all go do what y'all got to do. We're because again, but today, in my opinion, parents are having conversations around the kids, and the kids are are being asked questions. That's where I go with being friends with your kid. It's not a child's place to comment on adult situations, but and like you said, you couldn't talk. The gossip because they gossip and they talk, and again, all that's what adults do. You're having supposedly equal conversation with an adult, or I would like to say equal intelligence, supposedly. But then you go to as far as uh, a kid commenting on adult situations. So you're putting the child in that adult stage. Like, hey, me and the word we've talked several times. There's been we know firsthand parents who party with kids, drinking, smoking weed, whatever. That's that was never done in our era.
Literally linking up, going to the club. Like what?
Yeah,
What? Oh, me and my mom about to go to the club. Like what the hell?
I I I told you that if even after you turn 21, you come into a club or a bar where I'm at, one of us got to leave. And if I was here first, and this is my favorite spot, you got to go. But as you got older, 30 and above, that's fine. We're too grown, amen. But not at no 21, 22. I just don't, I mean, it's not in me to understand that.
What you think about Tate? Was y'all addressing this question?
Which one?
What do you do as a parent if you see your child going on the wrong path?
Well, I'll touch on it. Um, it's I mean there's a lot to quote unquote going on the wrong path. Just to trim it down and try to generalize an answer to that. Um, what I did, what we did, we sat down and we talked to our children, you know, um, and not that my kids were the best kids out there, but to try to think of an example. Uh, hmm, Help me out there, Dad.
Let me
Uh,
ask. Let me.
like an example, something that you can think of that may happen where we redirected them.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Um.
What happened?
So
That
it
that
was
we don't know about.
no. Well, I think y'all like just being. I mean, y'all kind of sedated me. But the time when the girls ran out and I grabbed the rifle walking down the street.
Okay, let me touch on that. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things. You don't want to get caught. But basically, yeah, get back to it. You you have to be able to talk to and communicate with the child. You have to be able to sit down and not just talk to them and them hear the words, but actually listen and understand what you're saying and why you're saying it. And it may be a situation where that were thrown into. You say, hey, you know what? I understand, you're hanging out with your boys and let's just say they're smoking weed, which nowadays is not a crime, but back in our day, oh my God, you smoke weed, you were just the worst person ever. Um, and get them to understand, okay, you want to hang out with your boys, they're doing this, they're doing that. Know when to separate yourself from that situation. Or if you're going to do something because your parents aren't around, know the right way to do it or not to do it, when to do it, when not to do it, and the repercussions behind doing it. Because especially young teenagers, they think they're invincible. They feel they can get away with things. Oh, I'm not going to get caught. I can do this. Or Mike did it. He didn't get caught, so I'm not going to get caught. But you raise them, and even though you raise them to know right and wrong, they are going to venture. They are going to experiment. They are going to, want to try new things and do things. It may be because of peer pressure, for whatever reason. And you just try to get them to understand, like, okay, you're going to go steal a car. Why are you gonna steal a car? Just for the fun of it. Okay, what's gonna happen if you steal that car and you get stopped, police catch you, got court, you got this, you go jail, you get probation. There's a lot of repercussions behind decisions that they're making. I think just being able to sit down with your child and having them listen and understanding um what can happen in some situations. And I mean, to touch on I can say with also with, well, first with my son, he's the only boy. When he got to the point where he wanted to experiment with sex, I'll be honest, when kids get a certain age, you notice they're interested in the opposite sex. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, what if you get somebody pregnant? Or, what if this, what if that? But I was blessed in his sense because he actually came to us and said, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm not going to say my heart wasn't racing. I was like, oh God, I'm not ready for this. Him being the oldest. I was like, oh. So, we sat down, we talked to him about what can happen, and we told them the right way to do it. You make sure you use a condom. You make sure you're protecting yourself. Don't go out there and be promiscuous because your first experience is like, oh my God, that was good. Okay, well, I want to try with another girl. No, you be respectful not only of that female but also of yourself. And I could say with the girls, there are three behind them, He actually helped in that aspect. You know, maybe not on the terms that I did or we did, but his terms, you stay away from that boy. You know, but then again, he told him, the right way, because I they when they got older, they actually, because he was the big brother, and he was hit, he knew what was going on, all this, they actually developed a level of comfort with him, like, oh God, I can't tell mom or dad this. Okay, let's go talk to Dorian. So that helped out a lot too. But just and basically and in general, getting that child to understand the path that they're going may not be the right one. And even though you sit down and talk to them, they still may choose to go down that path. And from a parent's aspect, I prayed a lot. Just prayed that, the kids came home safely, didn't get locked up, or, things like that. So, it's a lot of ways of looking at that situation, a lot of twists and turns. And, as we say now, you raise a child the way that you feel they should be raised, with morals and values, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to turn into that person that you didn't want them to turn into, because it happens a lot. And then, as long as you know you did your best as their parent, to teach them right and wrong, you can't sit back and blame yourself if they chose to go down the wrong path, or do things that you knew you told them not to do and they knew better not to do. And then in that same turn, you're blessed if they learn from doing it, getting in trouble, or what have you, and they never do it again.
Man, I'm telling y'all now, Didi is bad. So when he get 11, 12 years old and he going down the wrong path, me and him training the Muay Thai and I'm kicking him in the tail. Like this is like, man, look, I'm a new parent. I couldn't imagine now and then, like, just I would say this too. Let me offer this too, Tay. I think this because even I was going down the wrong path, even if they want to admit it or not. And a lot of stuff, I mean, just being real, just being honest, they see me carrying things and I wasn't supposed to have it. They seen me doing things and knowing, but I think it was like me trusting my parents, me having that relationship where I can come to them when I messed up. Because I remember one time I called my pops, and I'm like, you want, like, for me, uh, I would want my son to call me before he do something stupid. And it was a time where I was literally just about to, the dude popped up over my house. I was literally just about to walk out and noodle him. And something told me to call my dad, and I called my dad. When my dad came, the guy was like, "Oh, you called your dad to," and I'm like, my dad was like, "No, I came here to save your life. Like my son was going to end you." And I was like, he didn't know me like that. And the last thing, in that point in the time of my life, the last thing you want to do is come outside my house and yell and scream. That'd be the last thing you would want to do. But
I,
I
for,
you can rock from there.
with, to elaborate on that, I remember it like it was yesterday. um, I think effective. I'm not saying when I say not being your child's friend. I'm saying effective communication is all. I mean, listen, everybody don't communicate effectively because everyone wants to talk. Somebody got to listen. When it when someone's going through something, a child or as Tay was saying, going starting to go down the wrong path. Unfortunately, everyone's going to make their own path, but we can steer them or try to steer them the other way if we feel that they're going that wrong way. Because what comes after an action? Reaction. Action, reaction, action, reaction. It could be positive or negative. And just listening. because 80% of the people in this world just want to be heard, but we always want to overtalk, overthink, overanalyze. All they want to just be is vent something out, and we've all been in a position that we've been around people doing things that is not okay with us. We joined in, and I'm proud to say that I've always told be a leader. Don't be no follower. Be the leader. And if not, guess what? I can excuse myself too. I got every opportunity. I don't have to do what you're doing because you're doing it. And man, you were talking about like still in the car or what's the consequence. There's a whole lot of different consequences that we never play that whole tape all the way through. Me myself, I knew right from wrong, but I never played the tape all the way through till I got older. I did things why because I did them. I'm not ever ashamed of anything I've ever done, but I see now. I see the light why I shouldn't have, and I thank my wife for always uplifting me and not putting me down. She might get mad or was saying what she said, but she always came back and we effectively communicated with one another. So it's hard when you love someone and you're trying to teach someone or show someone something and they don't want to do what you want them to do. But how do you teach someone something over and over and over and over and over again? Keep reiterating the good. Encourage, don't discourage.
And that right there, I think, is the secret sauce because um, I'm just like me being that person who just coming out of that. You know, well, I ain't gonna say just coming out, but just removed compared to y'all. Um, that's what got me through. Uh, some people, gave up, but y'all never did. So when I was ready to listen and mature, you know, y'all was right there. I still remember the day because I didn't understand because it was like I knew I changed. Like, okay, I'm not this person no more. Do y'all remember that day y'all called me and said that dude was saying something about one of the girls' butts, and I flew over there
Yeah.
Yes.
and I went down there. I'm like, I'm about to go talk to him. Everybody like, no, everybody tripping. I'm like, what is they tripping for? I'm gonna just go talk to him. They like, no, no, no. So I took off going to talk to him. Everybody jumping in cars, flying over there. Like, don't. I'm like, I'm talking to him. They looking at me like, you mature, and I'm like, huh? Like, I just said I was gonna talk to him. I'm looking like, what is y'all tripping for? And then I realized like, well, the old me when I said that it was, I went and did stuff and then talked to him. So that's what they was expecting. But I was like, man, I changed. Like, I left that. But yeah, there's no one size fit all. Parenting. And it's sad, and I'm not even gonna say sad to me. Is it just shows the level of ignorance. Like this app is crazy. People will come on here and tell people to do something and do it,
Hello?
People, what you say? People come on and do what?
Jake, something's going on with this mic.
Well,
But I'm gonna ad lib on what he was talking about. You know how we knew how he was when he was younger. He would act before he would speak. So
Oh, my bad. I thought my mic was on. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You rock
if
out.
one of the girls, came home and said, this guy said this or did, he was like ready to run and gun. And I have to say, he got a little bit of that from both of us because I mean, even older, your dad is
No,
still
you.
that way. He
I didn't. Nah,
he
nah. Hold on, time
depending.
out.
Yes, you are
Nah.
depending
I
on
done
the
seen you blow up more times than I seen Dad blow up. Dad is
yeah he.
Dad is
But
like the Buddha compared to you. Look,
it
man,
de-
my
it
mama eyes changed colors. I seen her jump off a porch and chase a lady in a house, throwing them things at her. Don't.
okay. What
Nah,
about your dad with the Timbos? He it
man,
anytime
Dad be ready for
he
war.
was quiet. He was
Yeah,
quiet, but he came in, put the Timbos on and a hoodie or something. The girls called, "Mom, Dad got the Timbos on." I might be at work. I remember a couple of times I had to, okay, y'all got to cover this. I got to run home for a minute. You know, we were like 2 miles from the hospital, and I had to run home to calm Dad down because he was ready to go after somebody. He never said a word. It
nah.
was if somebody said something, the only thing he said was okay.
All
And
right.
next thing you knew, he coming out the room dressed a certain way. Oh no, call mama, daddy about to beat somebody. You know, so yeah, we both got a little. I mean, I've
Nah, you
settled
know.
down a whole lot. I'm more quiet. I'll listen. You know, it takes a little more to get me steamed up, but still, you mess with my kids, I'm coming.
And that's what it always was, though. It wasn't never like y'all just. It was always behind the kid. Anytime I seen y'all blow up, it was always behind the kid.
You know, or our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I threw a grocery buggy because some lady was making comments about my mother having too many items in the 12-item checkout line. She can have 100 if she want to. Leave her alone.
When you pregnant? Was that
Oh,
when you was pregnant?
that was
Yeah,
the.
so, Commander, what up, though, man? Appreciate you. Look, man, I can't tell you how, man. Look, mama, pop off. Dad, pops was like cool, collected, and he'd just, go after you. But mama, nah, she was like, "Rah." She used to hawk out, man. Like,
Yeah, I was what 9 months pregnant, and but I had a right to that. I will say the lady was in front of me, already checked out. Now, why is she concerned with how many items I have? I was like my mama. If I forgot something, I'm going back and getting it. If it goes over the 12, 15 items, whatever number of items is your limit in the line, I'm going back to get it. Now, she's checked out. Why is she concerned about what I have? So yeah, I was 9 months pregnant, and I chased that lady out the store, chased her to her car, and was still trying to get to her.
oh man. But that's life, man. You protect it. This is what I'm saying. That's one thing we ain't never had a problem doing is protecting ours. That's why, like, when people be like, "Oh, men don't protect women, women don't do something to my family." We don't need no outsiders to come help us. We go mount up.
Right.
That's how you. I mean, that's just how I was raised. I mean, people will come from out of state. Don't play with it. People would travel to protect. But that's just love. I didn't travel. I didn't took a couple flights. Took a
And
couple
that's
flights
what it
down
comes
there.
down to. It's all love. And if we had people that weren't blood that we call family, we were still with them.
Hmm. I mean,
Y'all
I don't
sound like
see too much of that no more.
y'all sound
Like,
like a gang.
We were bad.
it's called a tribe.
Y'all sound like the Crips.
No, but that was I would say what mom and pop say. Just going down that wrong path. You can do everything you can get creative to think of to do, but ultimately you just being there. For when they do see the light. Like Pop said, encourage and don't discourage. Because when people doing wrong, sometimes they just be in the rut. And then when they finally try to come out of it, if it's people there beating them down still, it's gonna be hard for them to, come out. So that's why I always say, if I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you neither. I don't see the
Man,
purpose of it. trying to discourage people or hate on people. Or, sometimes you do got to tell people, tough love and stuff, but you shouldn't try to break people down. You don't have to break no one down to build them up.
All right. And I just want to comment on something else I kind of saw in the chats there. It's so different raising children nowadays than it was when we were younger. Our discipline, if you did something wrong, got in trouble in school, you couldn't go outside. And that was probably the worst discipline you could ever get, because your friends come knocking on your door and they laugh at you and you couldn't come outside and play. But nowadays, you send a child to their room, that's the best place they could be, because they got everything in their room. They got their phone, they got their TV, they have their PlayStation, they have, whatever their needs. So, and you don't see a lot of children playing outside nowadays. They're all stuck in their rooms, on their phones, on their computers, watching TV, playing play. It's so different nowadays than when we were younger. It was our thing. You come home from school, you eat your dinner, and you were outside until the street lights came on. We didn't have phones back then for our mother to call us to say, "Hey, where you at? What time you come home?" And it was, you were embarrassed when your parent hollered your name down the street because the whole neighborhood heard it and they knew you missed the street light.
Darian, 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 like, Mom, come on, Darian,
Right.
get your butt home, Darian. Like, why you gotta call my name like?
Right. I swear you could hear them a mile away. You can hear them a mile away calling you.
Oh, we be up in the woods, like, Darian, like, get your
Right,
butt
where it
down here.
echo.
Hmm. Like, nah. You coming down that hill, coming across that creek. What is you doing up there? That's the crazy thing. I was thinking about that. Do you know I was like, we was running around the woods when I was like 4 and 5. Can you imagine that now? I would not let Didi. I don't even let him outside in the backyard by himself.
Right. You'll say it's so different, from back in the day than it is now. You can't even leave your child on the front porch by himself. And we were outside all the time, up
All
and
the
down the
time.
street, all over the place, going to the store. Nowadays, people are snatching kids off the front porch. They come in
Mhm.
your house and snatch them nowadays.
Well, that goes back to the village. We grew up where everybody was looking out for us.
Um, yeah, everybody was like, I didn't even know half of the people. Like, I didn't know my family was my family, and the people who I thought was my family wasn't my family. Like, going up
Right.
and down, I thought Mr. Jesse was really my uncle. I really did. I'm like, oh, he wasn't my uncle? Like, oh, okay. Because I did everything with him.
Yep.
I was always down Mr. Jesse out. He helped him to feed the dog. I was watching him skin whatever he killed. He took me hunting with. I mean, I just did everything with him. I didn't know that wasn't my family.
Mhm.
And
And
then I didn't
that's
know
how it
Gervis was my.
was.
I didn't know Gervis was my cousin. I'm like, oh, he was. You know, I I didn't know that. I think um until we was about to move up here. I just knew they was cool. I don't
Mhm.
know. That was weird. But it was like everybody was like, cool. Like, everybody looked out for one another. Like Dad said, you can't tell nobody nothing now
You can't.
about the kids.
I mean, if you was growing up, if you was thirsty, somebody was gonna give you some Kool-Aid or some water.
Mm-hmm. You was hungry,
You
somebody was gonna
go in
feed
your house if you had to go to bathroom.
you. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's like when, I would go to the grocery store and we'd be in there shopping and, hey, mama. Be like, okay, which one of my kids is that? Oh, that's his friend from fifth grade. you know, sometimes you still have that, but you don't see it a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Just like, with mommy growing up and knowing everybody and piling everybody's kids up in her car. Everybody knew Grandma Lois's. I'd be out with her and they come up and say, Grandma, I'm looking like, is that a niece or nephew that I don't know about? And oh no, that's so and so's grandchild. Okay, got it. But that's how it was, you know. It's like, you know, your dad said, the village, and that it was a true village. Everybody looked out for everybody and their children. You know, so yeah, that goes back to discipline. You weren't getting away with anything. You think because you were down the street and around the corner and you were doing something that you weren't supposed to do, somebody saw you and you got a spanking by that person, and then they took you home, and then you got another one by your parents.
Miss Tracy, what up, though? I ain't gonna kick it too much longer. She the wife gotta get up and she working split shift on the weekend, so I gotta get up in a couple hours with the kiddios. But I think this was a dope conversation. We gotta do it again.
Yes,
Well,
I'm glad I
Just,
was able to tune in, say hi to
just,
everybody.
I
just
want
to
to bring some
know,
more of the family on here too. I know Kelly said he wanted to come on, but I gotta do an early show for Kelly. He want to talk about fatherhood, so I think that'd be dope.
just,
Um,
just to cut you off real quick, you talk about boy tie kicking Didi in the head. That ain't gonna happen because he don't do nothing. Y'all be bothering him.
Whatever,
I
man.
watched
That
it.
little man, that little boy.
Watch it.
Okay, so how did this hole get in my wall?
You
Where,
probably did it.
where all this crayon and stuff come from? Oh,
You
you
probably
know
did it.
that tricycle you got for Elena? He was riding it around and got black streaks on sharp floor, so she is.
Oops. Y'all better leave my baby alone.
Man, he didn't. The TV. Y'all better come get this dog too, because if I find her on my couch one more time, man, I these last couple days, these two kids, this dog, and this wife of mine, boy, I don't even remember asking God for patience, but I'm developing more and more and more and more of it. It's like
Yeah.
these three, four.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna say something about that because I think it was your oldest sister that asked the question. She said, she asked me, she said, how come when we were kids, the same ages as my kids are now, we didn't do things or act the way they did? How did you guys as parents raise us not to do this? And I mean, I can't, couldn't say anything specific
I can't.
outside of
YouTube. They
instilling the
didn't have
fear of
YouTube.
God, and outside of instilling the fear of God into them. It was just the way you were raised. Like, you know, we raised our kids the way we were raised. And, you know, when they were younger, I have to say, you know, when they were one or two, three maybe, in the store having a fit passing out, I can honestly say that our children did that one time. And after that one time, they knew never to do it again because they didn't like the consequences.
I don't even remember that, and I think because the whooping I got, I probably blacked out or something. So, and I just knew not to do that again. But
The,
I'm gonna
the
tell
reason
you the big
we didn't
difference.
act that
I
way,
I
and,
look at it.
and
I'm
y'all act that way because y'all had no tube. Today they got YouTube.
no, it ain't had nothing to do with no YouTube.
They be
This is
watching YouTube. The,
this is the
And Tay
reason.
eats. I will have to say yes. I do believe in whooping children. I would say
Whoopings.
no to beating children, but yes, I will whoop a child. Like my son can tell you, when I'm over there and my grandson does something that he get away doing to his parents, he knows not to do it with Nana. Because
It's
Nana
true.
coming at you for real with I'll take my house shoe off. You know, I'm not hitting them hard enough to make marks or something. But yes, I do believe in whooping children.
that's why me and
Look,
D getting our own spot.
it's one person that my son absolutely don't mess with, and that's my mama.
Yes, he
But
knows Nana got them house shoes on. Yep, she gonna take it off and come at me with it.
Yeah, if he listen to anybody, his mama. He don't even try my mama.
But
But
then you have to look at the age of the child too, you know, because let me see, how old were you when you got your last whooping? When we first moved to Michigan, you're about 9 or 10.
I want my last time I got a whooping. And, okay, you talking about a whooping or a kick in the chest or a punch in the chest or a back. The last time I got a whooping was 15, 16. I
Oh,
call that a whooping.
the
When you
last
get hit
time
in the chest.
the last time I whooped you is when I had the asthma attack
That's the last
because
time you whooped me with a belt. The last time you hit me and it felt worse than a whooping was when I was 15, 16. Is when I took that yeah. I thought my chest, I had the ring mark and everything in my chest.
oh yeah, I remember. Sorry about that.
But now she whooped me, had an asthma attack, made me go get the inhaler, and then start whooping me again. I just got her bro. Oh man, I was bad though. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like, oh man, my,
Discipline and abuse is different. That's all.
it's
Right.
different.
And you redirect it with discipline. You're redirecting.
I mean, I look at it like this: if you don't discipline your child now, society go discipline them later. And at least you got love for your kids. Society ain't gonna have no love when they discipline
Yep.
child. So, you like even my dad. Like I told him, like I feel bad raising my voice at my son. My dad was like, "That's what a father's supposed to do. Like that don't make you a bad parent. You're guiding them. But I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to raise my voice at my son. I never, wanted to whoop my son. I don't whoop my son, but he gonna get it soon. I can tell. It's like he in that age where he trying everything. Like, okay, go ahead, keep trying.
Is he asleep now? Because I come get him right
Yeah.
now. They're gonna keep threatening him and his
Nah, he get his butt tapped. Nah, I didn't tap his butt. I tapped that butt, but I ain't got no whoop. Like he ain't got no whooping like I got a whoop. He ain't got one of those yet. But he asked me for it. I'm slowly starting to see why I got my butt whooped. I'm starting to understand now as a parent. Like, hold on, man. Like, but that's that. I mean, even at that age as a kid, like my son only 4. But he still need guidance and structure. And if you don't give it to him now, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. Yeah, people who don't believe in whoopings. I mean, like I said, all circumstances and all kids will be different, but just don't be one of them people who don't discipline your kids, and then when they grow up, they go to schools and open, you know, and do crazy stuff like that because they ain't never been punished and they think they can do. There's no consequences or repercussions behind actions. That's ultimately what you're teaching your kid. You're giving them structure, helping them understand. For every action, there's a reaction and there's a consequence. Well, it can be good or bad, but there's something coming behind it. His voice is enough. Yeah, your dad ain't meet Didi. Didi look at you like, nah.
I know. I know that.
He made me so mad. I yell at him like, stop doing that. He'd look at me like, nah. Like you little. And you can like his outbursts be so fun. I mean, like his responses be. It's like I be mad, but I be trying my best not to laugh. But it'd be so unexpected. So sometimes the way he respond, oh my god, I can't do nothing but laugh. Like you get on my nerves, man. But y'all want to leave the people with anything? I think I'm gonna end it. I'm getting a little sleepy.
Alrighty.
I just like to end it by saying parenthood is a blessing. It's a it's a humbling feeling when your children get to an age that you are just smitten with joy listening to them or watching them. And I can honestly say last weekend took me back and made me so proud and so happy that you were happy. And it was a wonderful time. And I'm proud to say I did something right.
Y'all get on my nerves. I was not, and I don't. Yeah, that was wild. And as soon as it happened, I'm thinking like y'all had to be planning this for a minute.
Yep. Ever since last year, last November. And we pulled, did you tell them about your surprise party?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it
yeah. I
was
was telling
good.
them about the surprise party. That was it was unexpected. And I hate surprising. I thought y'all was getting me a computer or something. I didn't know what it. I'm looking like what is. I don't know what I thought.
Yeah, it was a good feeling, like your dad said, to see you smile, and especially with your family from out of town that you hadn't seen in a little bit. It was good to see a smile on your face like that. And
Smile. He was crying.
Yeah,
Keep it a buck.
I,
Yeah,
not to disrupt or start a whole nother conversation over, but Tay asked a question.
I was going.
What would you take from the new generation regarding parenting?
They saw.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I
bad.
think a lot of parenting in this new generation is coming from TV, YouTube, computers, and things like that.
I think parenting of today is friends. They're wanting to be friends more so than a parent. You have to distinguish that relationship. I mean, being friendly is one thing, but you can't be friendly and then try to redirect someone to do something that is wrong. It's you got to be the parent. It's you love, honor, and you respect, but you also have to be a parent. Guess what? The toughest the toughest thing that a parent you're gonna hear from a parent is no. Get used to it.
And I want to say this too. I don't agree with that whole friend thing. Like ever, I don't think parents a role as a parent is always gonna be a parent. Ain't no friend with parent. People, when you a parent and you love your kid, you can have fun with them. You can be open with them. You can laugh. You can do everything a friend can do and more. I don't see why people want to associate those two things and mix it and blend it. A child, those are positions. My mom and dad always gonna be my mom and dad, no matter how old I get. My role as their child does not change. Yeah, I create my own family and have my own family. They don't govern over my everyday life. But guess who my wife called when I don't listen to her? When I need to go to the hospital and I don't want to go. And guess who come over here and get me? I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta go now. But they will always be my parents. Like, I don't need my parents to be my friends. We have fun, we laugh, we giggle, we open. We don't have a friendship. We have love. That we have a relationship but they always go, and I'm always hold them up as my parents. No matter how old I get, they always gonna be older than me. No matter how old I get, how much I mature, they're always. So that whole thing, well, you want to be friends, you want your kids to be able to come to you. Why shouldn't you the parent? What if you haven't established that relationship where your kids feel comfortable coming from you? Then you need to work on that. You don't need to be friends for that.
Right.
Like that whole they people try to mix stuff up too much. Try to philosophize things. Like leave things as it is. Shit. Trying to evolve things. Like make things. Well, if you be your kid's friend, they feel comfortable coming to you. No, you don't need to be no friend with no kid. No, because now you teaching them that kids and adults are on the same level. That's what you're showing them.
I said the and I'll tell you what I said before. When it comes down to the creation and the creator, how and when did the creation become more important than the creator? The parent is the creator of the child, and the child is creation. So therefore, nothing is more important than that. So you got to own it, and it's the positive is that creation of life. We got an opportunity to do better, get better, see better, and the relationships that are being bonded, and to teach. That's what a parent does. You're the first teacher they got, not the school teacher. You're the teacher. But like you said, the starting you can't. You, it's too much of a buddy buddy with parents today.
And then they ask, so what positive things would y'all take from parenting in a new generation? Um, I don't like. I don't when you like. I don't.
I see a lot of positive in the development of communication between parents. I mean, between a mother and a dad and a child. They're starting to communicate more, but again, you can't believe your child don't do no wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say. The gift and the curse is the like kind of relating to the kid. I think this generation does that better, but like I say, it can be a gift or a curse. You can relate too much. But I think that's the biggest thing that I see in the new generation. The new generation are listening more to the kids because when I was growing up, you ain't know nothing, you ain't had no feelings because you ain't grown. But nowadays, people listen to their kids more,
Yeah,
and a lot of things can be avoided too, because a lot of things messed up because of that back in the day when adults wasn't listening to kids. People was getting touched and not being able, not heard, not believed. Um,
yeah. I mean, it's a positive. It's a lot of positives going on. We just got, again, I believe getting back to the village and understanding and relating to to what's going on in the world. We got to do better. It never stops. The grind don't stop because you'll, like you said, you'll never stop being a parent. Because I mean, who knows? Call me. I'm gonna talk. Well, I'm gonna talk anyway. But and with the older we get, the more wisdom we get.
Right. Well, that's very true. An
oh,
aspect you never stop being a parent, and believe it or not, you're never too old to get a whooping. Because I was 40 years
uh,
old, and I slipped up in front of my mother because some guy cut me off and said the MF word and got slapped in the back of my head, and my grandkids were laughing. Ah, Nana got a whooping. So it you always have to have that level of respect. Always, no matter how old you get, how grown you think you are, there's always an elder out there that you have to stick to respect.
I'm gonna take that as my mom just gave me a subliminal diss because I just turned 40, and for some odd reason she had to bring that. So she just telling me. My
It
mom just
never
gave me a
too old.
subliminal.
Yep, I think you. If you think you're gonna bother Dee Dee, then there's gonna be problems.
I'm just gonna call him Jack. See, that's what I'm saying. I just call him Jack. I ain't worried. I ain't scared of nobody. I call him Jack. And I call Anna. I'm
And
calling
she's
the
always
elders.
been the one to protect you. Don't touch my baby. That's my baby. 40 years old, you still her baby.
I have both of my aunties that yeah, man, that was dope, man. That was unexpected. I was walking, man. I don't even know what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking walking in there. Y'all caught me slipping because I wasn't even looking in the group chats or nothing. I don't know. My head was just in the cloud. I was, I don't know. My
So
head was just in the cloud.
the
I was
word.
not.
Can I tell you something?
That is so weird. Uh huh.
You could look in a group chat if you wanted to, because they created a different one. they,
Oh,
they had a whole
good. I
secret
won't have a
society group.
thousand missed messages that I didn't check.
Yeah, but you would
Right.
have never got none of them because they had a different. They had a whole secret society new group chat that you weren't even. Your name wasn't even on. They tried to kick me out of it,
Oh wow,
or your
wow.
mama did, because I wanted to be the DJ.
Yeah, I'm surprised you still up after 2 o'clock.
It's too, let me take my book to bed. But
Right. I
I
got.
appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much, man.
Hey, love you too, baby.
To everyone, good night. It was a blessing to be able to speak with you guys.
Yes, it was fun tuning in with everybody again, and love
We'll
and
do it
blessings
again.
to you all. Yeah, we'll do it again. We just have to catch a day when I'm not at work and be able to get together again.
All right, I'm out.
I probably I hit you up in the morning. I want to talk about that fight. And did you see the other disc that Kendrick dropped? You know he dropped another one
Excuse me.
today.
What'd you
No,
say,
I
babe?
didn't want for today.
You say you didn't see it?
Uh-uh.
It's not like us. It's like a club banger.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
I thought I saw it, but I didn't listen to it. Well, you better
yeah.
leave
It's
that
like
man alone. I told you it's over.
yeah,
It's over.
yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna say good night. I have some online stuff to do. So
Uh,
everybody be safe and stay well until we meet again.
until we meet again. All right,
Love
I
you too,
will.
baby.
Love you too, mom. I'll rap with y'all later.
All right.
All right. Well, I was chilling with the parents, man. I'm gonna drop y'all down. Oh, yeah, that dropped down. Yeah, that was me
Okay.
chilling with the parents tonight, having that good convo. Yeah, we just rocked out. I just wanted to talk about that because you know, it's just a lot, and I don't think just hearing different perspectives and hearing different people's circumstances. I hope open people's eyes because it's easy to judge and easy to say what someone should do, but especially being a new parent, people don't understand how hard it is when you got to do this 24/7 and it's yours. You can't give it back. You can't walk away. You can't do none of that. This is your child, your responsibility. And if I mean, that's just me. I have to do what I have to do. It's a 24/7 an hour job. So it's easy to say this or that, but if you don't understand the circumstances and conditions, then it's like um, find something else to talk about, man. Just find something else to talk about because what you're doing is for me, for a person who lives it, is just showing your ignorance. Anyone who say just do this or just do that, you never did this thing before. and you never had to do it, different ways. Different kids have different needs. You would probably be in a different circumstance. Maybe you have help now, you won't have it later. Maybe you didn't have help at the beginning and you got help now. It's so many. The world itself is different from 3 years ago. It's different from 3 years ago. So if you raise kids and your kids grown, it's a different world. People should be more open minded and be willing to have discussions. Versus just point. But it's entertainment. Half of the stuff people do on here is entertainment. Nothing is really educational no more on here. Online, period. People don't want education; they want entertainment, because the only way you can actually receive or give education is through observing and practical use. That's how you become knowledgeable of things: is observing things and using things in a practical way. DJ Pop. But yeah, but I was just kicking it with the parents. I think it's dope, my relationship with my parents, where I could have them come on, my platform, and we rock out, we talk. These conversations that we have a lot. A lot of times we talk about things. My dad just wanted to come on here and talk about me, and I'm like, no, we ain't about to just come on here and talk about me. Let's just talk about parenting. But like, I appreciate my parents so much, because I realized that, like, I understand. Like, a lot of times on this app, people come on here for attention and validation, but when you didn't have something your whole life, you don't. Like, who gonna validate me more than my parents, than my wife? Who can validate me even more than those people? And they do it almost on a daily basis. So it's not that I need validation, but sometimes confidence get mistaken for arrogance, and but I understand, now, because of my position. Some people do come on here for that, but I understand why people think it. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't understand it at first, and I realized the reason I don't understand it because I always had it. A lot of times you won't understand something unless you either have it or if you don't have it. That works both ways. Some people don't have the luxury of having loving parents, or sometimes even having parents. They never had anyone in their life ever to validate them. And now this platform gives them that. And a lot of times when you're not used to something, you don't know how to take it. You don't know what to do with it. So that's just insight. But I got another good show coming soon, either tomorrow. I'll probably do it Monday. But we're going to talk about trust, right? I had an epiphany today. And y'all know I always say I don't trust, but I had an epiphany, and I'm changing my tune. So I want to share that with y'all. So I think that'll be dope. We're going to talk about trust, but let me get out of here. It's 9 in the building. What up, 9? Appreciate y'all, man. Do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We didn't go vertical live today. We just went regular live. But make sure y'all hit that like button for me. And if you can, share it out. Like I said, we'll have another dope show tomorrow. We're going to talk, if it's not tomorrow, the day after that, we're going to talk about trust. So I think that's going to be dope. Yeah, 755 in the building too. I appreciate everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Riaz, did I miss you, brother? Yeah, so anytime my people come on here, we go get live. I'm gonna get some more of my people on here. A lot of more people want to come on the platform. But yeah, we gonna do that. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are conversations to build nations. And if I said anything to resonate with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, we's out.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy.
Bloody hands stained from the
What up,
people
bro?
who
Really
deceive
appreciate
me.
you.
Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race, life